We are back again on the little Toyota Corolla. So today's plan is we're going to get this thing up on the ramp, we're going to get it up in the air, and we're going to look at what welding needs doing on the car. So I know that there needs to be a bit of welding on the driver's side rear arch, just at the bottom of the sill. There's a little bit on the bottom of the driver's pan, and I did have a quick little poke around in the rear wheel arches, and there is a little bit of corrosion going on. Only little holes, nothing major. So we're going to get it up in the air, show you guys on the camera what we've got going on. I've washed it all down now, which gives us a better view of what's in the arches, and obviously gives us a better surface to weld and paint and everything.
So as you may have seen in the first video, we picked up this little Corolla to try and save it and get it back on the road, and that is exactly what we're going to do in this video. So if you haven't seen that video, go check out our channel and give it a watch.
So thinking about it, we're probably going to have to take some interior out of the old girl for welding purposes. I don't want nothing catching alight, I don't want nothing smouldering or burning. And the interior on this car, like we say, we looked around it, and the interior is absolutely mint, so we don't want to be destroying any of that. So they are getting a sort off the car. I think that should do us about there. Front wheel arches, in very good condition. Obviously I don't know what's going on behind the rubbers. Might want some springs on it. They are looking a bit crusty, but they're still there. This is where the bird's nest is in the front spring. These bolts are a little corroded, but I think just with a little bit of sanding back, we should be able to clean that up, and that should all be fine. A little bit of corrosion around the spring tops. Nothing to be concerned about in the front. Obviously we know about the doors being a little bit crusty, but we're not too worried about that. So this is the rear sill section. As you can see, it's gone through both skins, so probably cut it down here somewhere or on this seam, stitch a bit in there, put the support back in, try and keep the original arch, seeing how good it is, this section here, and sort of make a plate to go in there. And then we've got this bit which I found underneath the mud, so we need to clean that up and get that addressed. But as you can see, just behind here there's some sort of interior piece or trim or something, so we need to get that sorted. And then we've got another bit again there at the top of the arch, and another bit at the back of the arch there. So, and we've got another little section that's been a bit crusty in that corner, but all in all it doesn't look too bad, so hopefully we can address those fairly easily. On the passenger's rear we've got a similar thing going on just at the top there. Doesn't look too hard to repair, but you know, I want to get it right. So, and again we've got another bit just there, so we're going to address that. Obviously get the wheels off, we may find more. I might even remove this wheel well at the back here, just so we can check it. But the sill, I think we can clean this up enough to get a good clean surface on the back of there and sort that out, treat it and paint it. And then there's obviously one other bit that I've seen. Everything else seems all right. There's a little bit of surface corrosion underneath the car, but nothing too bad. Floor pans and inner sills all look to be good. Just to say, a bit of surface corrosion, nothing to worry about. Same with that side. Floor pans absolutely solid, apart from this section just here. So just like the MG that we done, it looks like it's had a similar sort of problem there. So I do believe we're going to have a carpet out to repair that. Other than that, I haven't looked much else on it. Brakes I know need cleaning up and needs good going around, ready for an MOT. But first things first, I think we should get all of the welding done on the car, get it all treated, welded, cut all out, obviously fresh bits welded in, give it a good clean up, paint, so that's all done. And then we'll probably focus on the doors either another day and try and weld the doors up, or I'm going to look out for some other doors. So if you know anyone that's got any decent doors for these little Toyota Corollas, preferably in red, that'd be great. So yeah, let's crack on with getting some wheels off of the car, assessing what interior we're going to need to removed. So after a little thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start getting some of the interior removed and the rear arch liners and stuff, just so when we're welding there isn't going to be any issues. I didn't bother pulling the wheels off because I'd rather just get this lot out and clear it up so we don't burn anything, catch fire to anything, etc. So that is going to be the plan. Fold the seats down, see how all this comes out. Should be fairly easy. I did not know that this little Corolla's got a little cubby hole just here. A little piece of plywood machined off. Nice little handle on some hinges. And that allows you to store some stuff in the back there, cocaine or whatever, I don't know. Oh dear. Right, so we need to get started on removing this interior. So first of all, we get started by removing the false floor in the boot section. I start removing it with the 10mm bolts which fix it in, and the clips, being very careful not to break them. Then to remove the storage compartment was just a few clips, just like that. It's all removed, nice and simple. Next up, we need to remove the rear seats from their brackets, which are held down with 12mm bolts, and out they come. Okay, so that's the other side out. Next we need to remove the rear bench seat, and again a couple of 12mm either side, and out that comes as well. Now to remove the sound deadening from underneath the rear seat. This just pulls up, it's a little bit stuck down but comes up fairly easy. I then remove all the trim clips to remove the trims off the sides, but before doing that I need to remove the seat belts, and before removing the bolts I like to tie a knot in the seat belt just to stop it retracting. Now you should be able to remove this completely out of the car, and repeat yourself on the opposite side. So with that removed, so remove that, and then I believe this just pulls off. Ah, nice and simple, comes out. There we go. So you just spin it. There we go. Oh dear. It's got some like sound deadening built into the carpet. Okay, so we can't actually see where any of the corrosion is in the floor. It's got a lot of sound deadening over it, so I can't see any rust. I don't know if you can see that. I'll just poke the screwdriver through the floor from the bottom. So that is sound deadening just there. It's covering it. So to make life easier for us, I am now going to remove the front seats and the trims surrounding the front seats and carpet, and I'm going to try my best to remove the complete carpet from the car, just to prevent any fires and just to give us more access to welding the car up. I don't want any issues or anything getting in the way when it's in the air on the ramp, so we're just going to remove absolutely everything out of the car that's going to possibly get in the way. Carpet, seats and some trim all removed in the Toyota Corolla. Get it right, Josh. So now look at the floor plans in this whole thing. Looks absolutely spotless really, doesn't it? Well, you wouldn't know if you looked from the inside, but what I was saying was, when I was trying to prise this carpet area up, just under there's the hole. Now I cut a hole in this side here, like through there, and I think if I now cut one straight to that notch there, I can remove all of that. This, with it lifted through there, like that, and just like so, removed the sound deadening from around the area I want to weld, which is here. Cut all that out, and I should be able to fabricate a bit, which is literally the same, to go slot straight back in, weld that in place, clean it all up. We'll be able to put that sound deadening that we just took out relatively complete, and put that strut back over the top like no one would know. Not that you're ever going to see it, but it's just nice, isn't it? It's nice to do things properly. Talking about the other sections of rust on the car, here's your seatbelt hanger, just here. This is the bolt where it goes in. All around here, crudded, corroded. So that's got to be welded. Something on there. Well, we've got wire and loom here, so this wire and loom's got to be removed, and we have another little hole just at the top of this strut tower. Very small, but we've got a rear washer pipe and some wiring in there, so that all needs to be removed. Probably just be able to pull that round and out of the way. We've got another tiny little hole there as well, which, you know, tiny little plates will sort that out. This side we look all good on the inner edge of here. All this side looks good to the top strut. If we go around through the door side, we have the same with seatbelt hanger here, but it's a bit lower. So the seatbelt hangers here, it's a little bit lower down that end, and we've got a slightly bigger hole than the other side here in the same position. So we're going to start off by getting this wheel off and inspecting what's going on inside here. So 21mm. Thing to do right now is to get a wire wheel on there and clean up the surrounding areas first and see what clean metal we have to work with. So that is what I'm going to do first. Probably going to drill these spot welds out here and remove this piece to make a plate to go in behind it. That's a bit thin. This is weak, metal's so weak behind it, and I think there may be a spot there somewhere. We're getting it there. Okay, so that bit's out, so that can be put back on once repaired. But this bit was rotten from the inside, if you remember, so it needed cutting and replacing properly. So that is what we shall do. Right then. Yeah, let's cut that out. Oh no, I can't see nothing. I'm all fogged up. Can you see me? It's not good, is it? Right, so, I've got the old welder mask on, a bird shit on the top somehow. I've made a little plate to go in here, in this section. Goes in like the other way. Goes in there like that, so I'm going to tack that in, get it in the shape that I want and where I roughly need it. What's going on with the battery? And then we're going to weld it, tack it in. I don't know what's going on with the camera, it keeps telling me the battery's flat and the battery's not flat. This camera's driving me insane today, it just keeps turning off and going flat, I don't get it. Anyhow, so what I've done is I've just welded that lip in there and made it up and done the inner edge. So, yeah, so we can now make the plate to go on the outer side and then we can weld that in place. But I did do it all on camera, but it seems like the camera's done the usual thing, switched itself off and didn't want to record. So, handy, okay? So I'm going to give the camera a break for a little while. Maybe it's overheating, I don't know. The microphones are getting low as well. So I'm going to put everything on charge while I make some plates up to go in there. I've made the plate up for in here. Obviously I've got a little bit more fettling to get it where I want it. Better view of it. Going on with the brake pipe? I think I've got a brake pipe just gone. You bugger. How's that gone? It's fucking corroded at the top. I must have caught the pipe and it's just gone. What an absolute asshole. When did I catch that brake pipe? Yeah, it needed doing anyway. It's absolutely crusted to pieces. Ah, great. Hey, nothing we can do about that now. Just the joys of cars, eh? Brake pipe's getting bloody worse. That brake pipe jarred me right off. Right, we need to get this cleaned up. Can you see now? So I might take this section out because this piece here is like pitted here, pitted here, pitted here. About my thumb, I got a blister coming up on my thumb. That wasn't from welding, that was from grinding. That's a first. But yeah, so yeah, cut this section out, make that plate go behind there, make this plate, and then we've got this piece to do. Okay, I'm now absolutely covered in grinding dust, and I probably shouldn't be wearing my microphone because it's now caked in metal filings everywhere. Lovely. Okay, so the majority of I didn't even clip it on. That's definitely covered in metal filings. Okay, so that worst bit is sort of done. Like I say, we've got to repair the seatbelt mounting tomorrow. I'm not doing it now. Too late in the day. Got this to repair. Some holes in it, needs some grinding off. Might do that bit before I go home so I can just come in and weld it up in the morning. Then that can be fitted to said area there. And then we can concentrate on the sill piece, or we might do that hole and that hole first, just up there. They shouldn't take long at all. Concentrate on that bit, and then let's say there's 1 and 2 little holes there, and I'm going to put a couple of spot welds through here and weld the section that we done earlier to there. So actually I'll put the spot hole bits in now, because if I don't do it now I'll forget. Okay, so got those to weld up tomorrow. Making progress. This was the worst side. Fingers crossed. I really don't. Well, I really hope that the other side isn't as bad. I know it doesn't look as bad, but when you start knocking away at stuff, it soon uncovers itself. These bits, I'm going to give a prod before I do. Make sure I get a nice good area. So yeah, we're making progress. The biggest downside today is the bloody brake pipe breaking on us. Like, really? I didn't really touch it. I suppose I've been on there since 91, and it's been sat about a little while. But yeah, it just sort of fell off. So one thing I really hate doing is making brake pipes. I'm going to have to make a brake pipe up at least for this side, and I'm now going to have to definitely check, well, I would anyway, but really check all the other brake pipes, because they could all be as bad as this. So yeah, we've got plenty to do. I reckon a couple more days and the welding side should be done and possibly painted, and then we need to look into getting the brakes and stuff sorted. So for today, that's me done. Right, we're going to do some little updates because I'm getting low on memory, but I've repaired the section and welded that all in now. And just down here, I've repaired the inner section, which had broken and rusted away, and welded all that in. Just got to finish tidying it up. Then I've got the outer sill edge to repair. Obviously still got these holes up here to do, and a little bit on the inside behind there. But we're getting there, just taking my time with it. No need to rush. Well, the sealer has reacted overnight, as you can see, and the sill is all repaired on the outer side. Well, that's a patch in there, patch in the top there, that bit's all done. Again, all in here. We're now making a start on the holes on that side. And we have got this little section in here which has also been done. So just got to finish tidying them up. But yeah, we've got this hole that seems to be getting bigger here, and these ones down here, very similar to the other side, and then we can make it start on the front. We've got a little bit more progress going on. So the bottom corner's welded and the top section, still got to seal it off. And I'm now working on the front. We're actually back on the floor for this, so I've been making a plate up from the inside. It's a bit easier. When I remove the plate, there's the section I've cut out. I've left this tab short for now, but we're going to make a plate in there, and it's got a little loop in there. It says I weld it. I'm going to give it a tap when it's heated up. Fingers crossed. And obviously that overlaps onto the other skin as well. That's why it stays sort of still. That's what we was looking for. So that'll sit in there. Obviously I'll weld the edge up, knock this section down. That's why it's a little bit longer, and hopefully that does the job. So, driver's floor's all welded up, seam sealed to keep all the weather and stuff out. All the inner sills, or insides of the bits that I've welded, they've all been seam sealed off as well, both sides. Keep it all nice and tidy. That just leaves us with paint to get. I don't know if you can also notice I've given it a good hoover out and clothed it all, obviously, because I don't want any of the metal filings disturbing anything. Inner arches I've also been all seam sealed. This one's reacting, I think it's the paint, so that may need going over again, or it may just be alright with some stone chip. Seal's done, just needs a skimmer filler just to tartan her up a bit. Oh, and we've got under here the other section, which I've just seam sealed. Obviously just going to paint them when they're done. Other than that, we are basically there with it, so with the welding side of things. It's just stone chip and paint, and then hopefully, probably covered in dirt. I've washed about 10 times today. This is the problem when you're welding, you get covered in grinding, dust and crap, and blocks your nose up. Gets all in your, well, I haven't really got any hair, but it's just everywhere, and your hands get disgusting. But went one step further on the Corolla. So check for MOT was on the checklist, so let's have a little look. So we've got the Corolla, check for MOT, we'll do that in a little while. Carry out the welding on the areas that we've done. We've now got a brake pipe added on. We washed it already, and we'll get another wash and a machine pop, and we've also got to clean up the brakes. It's going to need 2 tyres up the front, so we better add that to the board. 2 tyres. I've got a pen in my mouth, sorry. And I think that, hang on, let's get that pen out of my mouth. I think that that should hopefully be everything we need. So, fingers crossed, we should get there. Right, I do apologise. I have been getting so carried away with just getting work done and not actually putting the camera on. Half my issue was the workshop was so untidy from where we've moved, and stuff was just scattered around on the floor in front of the camera and everything. So I've been a bit busy, and I've sort of painted the stone chip on the little Corolla, and done obviously all the welding. I haven't done a lot of recording, obviously, and the inside has all been painted and sealed off as well. So, oh, we've got the section at the front. I don't know if you'll be able to see that without the light, but yeah, the paint's not quite a good match. It's quite brighter, but I don't know. So anyhow, that lot is done. But the reason why I've been sort of not recording it, because I've been sort of tidying up. This is going to go eventually. I need to sort that out at some point. But it's just like trying to find discs and stuff. So I've set a wall up with discs on. I've got all the machines and stuff out. Loads of this was at home because I hadn't had time to move it. So I've all sort of, it's sort of like a 5-minute job. Like I found these outside in the scrap pile. It's like, they'll sit perfectly in the workshop. So we've put those in, laid the bench out. I'm still sorting through some bits. Obviously I've been using some bits, but you couldn't use the bench before, and like all these boxes were scattered everywhere and in places you didn't know where they were. So everything's now laid out, so hopefully I should now be able to get on with work and on these cars a lot easier. So that's all sorted. Obviously that's the interior. I've got a little section over there left to sort out, and then obviously I've just been going through my toolbox, but it's getting there. It is getting there. So main reason I started tidying up, other than obviously it being in my way when recording, is I also needed the brake flaring tool, which I found some of it, but I haven't used that for a long time. So yes, we are getting somewhere, so stay tuned. When we get the paint flicked on there, I might record it, I might not, we'll see. Well, I forgot to record again. The red's all on. Still bits to do. I just need to get it off the ramp at the moment, just get the interior back in, and then I'll finish off doing the rest when I do the brakes. But we'll give the underside a good wash. I think it's come up pretty damn well. Got this section to sort, and obviously that's just red at the moment, but I want to give the underside a good wash down before I treat everything else. But yeah, she's getting somewhere now. Okay, I'm going to do a quick time lapse of getting all the interior and everything in, rather than talking through it all again. I'm just going to start whipping it all in, get it all bolted in and done. So enjoy. Boom! And just like that, the Corolla's all back together. So next thing to do on the old gal is to get this wheel arch sorted down here. Done. It needs a little bit of filler just to skim it, the edges in where it's obviously had a plate. And then obviously paint that, skim some filler across here and give it some paint. Other than that, oh, and a brake pipe needs to, so we are getting there. Right, so okay, I've been a little bit busy off camera with a lot going on lately, so we now have an arch finished and painted. I got my dad to do that because he is very good at doing that sort of thing. So that's now all sorted, painted, flushed in, so you'd never know. Obviously all the arches that we've done looking lovely. I'm now on a job of removing the petrol tank, because obviously, should we say, we've got this brake pipe just in here that needs to be removed, which obviously goes up and over the tank. It runs down this side here, comes along here, and obviously goes along the car there. Now this is plastic coated, and I need to get under there and, well, repair the brake pipe. So got to get the tank removed so we can get in there and make that brake pipe up. So I'm in the process of removing the petrol tank at the moment. Just a little talk through of what I've done. I've disconnected 2 petrol straps, disconnected this pipe here and this pipe here. I've disconnected the 3 brake pipes at the front, and then up here we have a plug going underneath the seat. There we go. So we've got a plug going underneath the seat, so I'm going to have to try and get up in the car through the door, try and ping that off, and this petrol tank can come out of the way, which will then give me full access to those brake pipes. I'll pull this wire through so we don't damage it. That's for the sender unit. In theory, this petrol tank should now come out. Don't think there's a lot of fuel in it, to be honest. There's a bit of fuel in it. Some cobwebs. I'm now just going to lift this down. Oh, there's quite a lot of fuel in there. Oh, there's quite a bit of fuel in there. Caught my leg. Right. So now I can clearly see the brake pipe runs up here, across here, and down here. I can now inspect not just this side, I now inspect this side brake pipe, and that gives me plenty of room to take the brake pipe out without taking it out of shape and make a new copper one up, and we can give it a clean under here, may even give it a little wax oil. There's a little bit of crustiness going on up there, but we can treat all that. Now that petrol tank is down, it allows us to do so. This brake pipe, now I've actually inspected it, comes across here, across the back here, runs along here, and it actually goes to the back of the car into this load valve. Well, there we have it. We've got a brake pipe now all installed. And just a little repair section that goes through there, join there. Didn't really want to try and create a brake pipe and have to take the subframe off. So we've managed to make that work. Now I've got to get the petrol tank and all that back on. Before I do that, I'm going to give all this a bit of a clean in here. I've just give this all a good stubborn wipe. Got most of the dirt shifted. I think a lot of it is under seal on it now. It's sort of like gone hard and gone off, but that's got a lot of contaminants and stuff in there. Should hopefully loosen that dirt up, let that dwell for a bit. Yeah, look, it's like underbody shoots and muck, like stuck to the inside of the car. So if we leave that now to do its thing, I can get on with putting the petrol tank and what have you back on. I may just give this back end a little bit of a clean like over that, just allow it to soak. Then I'll go outside, give it a good pressure wash underneath. Try and sort these brakes out that are sticking. Sound like a bit of a... We should have it now. There we go. There's a zero lip. Lots of brake dust. Give this a good clean out. Check the wheel bearings. Nothing wrong with that. So just give it a good blowout. Clean the shoes up, rough the pads up. Clean the drum out, and then check the adjuster. I think we're going to be fairly alright on this side. We're going to check the cylinders, make sure they're not leaking. That one's all good. Same on the other side. That one's all good as well. So that's all done. Fire the old compressor up. Take a bit of sandpaper. Plenty of life in those. I'm just going to check the drum. Drum looks all good. There's no ridge on there. Just score it up a bit. Just to be safe. I don't want any metals in my eye. See how well actually near enough, slide straight on. Still catching slightly. I think that should do it. That's literally just catching, which is perfect, just what you want. So they just literally needed a clean out. So that's that side done. But what I am going to do, Could spend a bit of time cleaning the disc up, or the drum up, should I call it. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to give it a spruce to satin black just to tidy it up a little bit. Seems it's got alloy wheels on. Better than looking at a rusty brown colour. I'll need to use this can up as well. So that's that drum done. We're now going to move on to the other side and do the same again. Job done. So those discs, you can see that. Yeah. Those discs are well and truly crusted up, so for this we're going to need to take the caliper and the carrier off, get those out of the way, clean them up, make sure the pistons move and slide freely, check all the bushers while we're under here. Remember, we will be replacing the shocks at some point. Check brake lines and hoses. They haven't been off for a while. Definitely going to need a good clean up and a good greasing. A little bit of rust on the ends. And they're all off. Now remove the caliper, which is stuck in there, so we're going to need the bar. Paint fumes get in your mouth. All the crust and crud coming out. It's got some shims in there. We'll try and keep those. Might be able to clean them up. They're out. Now just get the pads out, which seem very stuck. They're very crusted up on the edges. Pads are absolutely fine, so we can clean those up. And the other pad out, same again. So now we need to get the carriers off. Got a spectator now.
Oh God.
You're a spectator, aren't you?
Am I?
They're always watching me.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to make sure you do it right.
You ain't got a clue what you're doing anyway. Hey,
What?
I said you ain't got a clue what you're doing anyway, are you?
I've always known what I'm doing.
What am I doing at the minute?
Something to do with them brake pipes on that front wheel or something with brakes.
Brake pipes? They don't look like pipes to me.
What?
They don't look like pipes to me.
Well, I didn't know what you're doing. I heard
Doing the
that.
brakes.
Well, the brakes, it's something to do with brakes.
He thinks he knows what he's on about. Don't you?
I always
You think you know what you're on about, don't you?
I always know what I'm on about. I always know what I'm on about.
God, they're tight.
Huh?
That's tight. God, I don't like that. No. It goes that way a little bit. That one goes that way a little bit. There we go, that one's cracked. Just gotta get the bottom one and go. Oh, can't get it to go either way. Oh, we've got it to go that way a little bit. There we go. They're coming. That's the carrier off. They're pretty shot on the inner face. Outer face was fine. A little bit of a groove there. But then, so I think it'll be on the shopping list will be a set of disc and pads. Alright, let's see if we can clean these carriers up a bit. Alright, so that's all back together, needs just a bit of grease. Well, off camera I've just ordered some new disc and pads. For the time being I'm going to chuck these ones back on. So I'm just going to piece it all back together now. Oh, there's an arch there. Right, that's that done. Let's go to the other side and crack on with the other side. Alright, we're going to get the petrol tank back in the old gear on there. Actually, no, I'm not. I tell a lie. I'm going to grease the brake lines that you can't see. I'll get to more than can't see. Another can down. Got to be getting low on the white grease. Don't think that was the last can. It's all back together. There's no loose bolts on the floor now, which is a good thing. Arch is done. That's done. I think the paint's reacted a little bit on that for some reason. I want to get the wheels washed, and what I would like to get done before home time, but I am going out today, is to put this on my truck and sort of put the ramps down and get under it and give it a good wash down, but I don't know if we'll be able to today, so I might have to wait till next week. But I'm going to go give it a go, see what time is, see how I'm getting on. We may get it done. For now, I need to go put the microphones and that on charge because they've gone flat. Right then, I'm back again. This time I have actually got my arse in gear and got on and got it all cleaned underneath. So let's have a look. This is what it looks like with all the crap taken off underneath, and it has come up really, really well. So now I'm going to treat it all with a bit of wax oil. So you can see where I've been in there, and give it some bright red paint, which is the original colour. And then I've got as much as I can of the crud underneath, all under here. Like I say, all under the arches. I've took the inner arch linings out just so I can get in there with the wax gun and hopefully tidy it right up. But yeah, obviously that's where I've done a bit of a repair, which is a bit of an eyesore, but at least it's treated right. So now I'm just gonna give it a good wax oil. Well, I didn't have the camera on for this. Main reason, as you can see, just the fog in the workshop at the moment. It's just everywhere. This is from the wax oiling. This is, I didn't want to get it on the camera, but all the arches are all fully wax oiled. Everywhere underneath, even on the subframes. Obviously a little bit more on the heavy duty areas where the mud sits and stuff, but she is all wax oiled, and all the arches. Don't know if that's a good idea or not, mud might stick to it, but at least it's protected. So underside the old girl is now all complete. We've just got to get the wheels on and give her a good mop and polish, and we're waiting on the front discs and pads. I have been shooting some gold over the wheels. It's only a quick job to tidy them up for now, but in the future I'll have them done properly. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with the gold. I've still got to do the outer silver lip on these, but yeah, that one's the worst one because it's frog-eyed, and that was the worst one that had flaked everywhere. But just tidying them up, just make them look presentable for now. We're getting there. Well, it's now time to put some tyres on some rims. I've got some from out the back that I had kicking about. So I'm going to crack on with getting these on. I've hurt my neck, so I can't twist a lot, and I ain't very well, so I'm just gonna crack on. Now, what have we got left? Okay, so the wheels are painted and done, the wax oiling's done. We've still got the arch linings to clean and put back in, and it's going to go outside, wash it all down, ready for a good mop and polish straight over the top. Try and seal it off, and then detail it a bit. And I think, other than the brake discs and pads that I'm waiting on, that car should be ready for an MOT. Done a test patch, as you can see. This test patch has come out pretty good. The paint is fairly thin, as you may be able to see. There's some bits that have already gone through previous. So we've got to take our time, be as careful as we can, and try some different methods of trying to get the little scratches and stuff out on the edges without burning through the paint. So with that, I'm just going to crack on and get on with the job. Well, here we go. The cutting stage is all done. I'm now going to whip round really quick with some finer stuff, so I'm going to hit it with some refinish 9000, and then with a nice light pad on this one down here. There's your 9000, just down there. I'm going to hit the whole car with that and get all the finer stuff out, hopefully bring a bit of gloss through, and then we've got a wax coat to go over with. So hopefully it'll come up nice. Furby Bilstein disc to go on. Just going to give them a bit of a brake cleaning to get the Furby Bilstein pads to go in it. Treating the girl. Some decent parts. Come up. That is basically everything back on it. So all we've got left to do, put the wheels back on it. I'm going to go outside, wet the car over and apply a hydrophobic layer just to sort of stop stuff sitting on it and try and preserve it when it is outside. We've gone this far, so why not? It's not going to hurt. Pressure washers out as well. Once that's done, I've got glass to finish cleaning. Obviously, because water will get in there. I need to, before I do the glass though, I do need to just go over the bits of trim and dressing inside, and just give that all a spruce up. Once that's done, a wiper blade. I think that is everything. So fingers crossed I can get it booked in for an MOT fairly soon, and then we can use it and see how well she drives. So yeah, I think we're getting somewhere. She's all cleaned up. Look at her. She's gleaming. She is looking good under the lights. It's not perfect. We knew it weren't going to be perfect before we started it, but look at that. Old Corolla. Ooh, ramp leg there. She's definitely got a shine to her. All the insides are done as well. Very clean and tidy. Yeah. She's looking a honey now. But it's not perfect. There is imperfections. Like I said, the paint's very thin where obviously someone had burnt through it. Slight edges of that, like where the white's about to come through. That's the bit that obviously was there before. And you can just see slightly on the edges on the roof where they'd done it, but I don't want to go too mad. It looks good. You can barely see it. It's only in certain lights, so yeah, she's done. Here we go. The little Corolla is all done. She's cleaned up alright. She's not perfect, but she looks $1 million compared to what she did. Wheels for a quick spritz up. Lovely jubbly. There's the silver pair. All done. Got the doors obviously still to do. But all in all, she ain't come up too bad for a pink machine. Now we're gonna get it loaded on the truck shortly, and I'll be taking it for its MOT tomorrow. Fingers crossed she passes and we can start using it. Definitely think it's gonna need an engine transplant though. Look at that, don't she look so clean? There's a little scratch on that door there you can just about make out. But very good. Now hopefully the old girl passes and we can get her on the road, but I do think it needs an engine swap at some stage in its life. But what do I engine swap it with? Let me know in the comments. Well, here she is in all her glory. She's MOT'd and on the road. It didn't go as according to plan. It did fail actually on a brake pipe leaking, which was the one we repaired. The fitting was actually the wrong one. My bad. A couple of drop links on the rear, which I checked them thoroughly and I don't think they needed doing personally, but the front steering rack gaiters were split just on the actual clip itself, but we put them on it and then she went straight through flying colours, apart from a rear seat belt slightly worn. So yeah, there she is, she's done. I've been using the old girl to be fair, and she runs an absolute dream. So let's have a look. Still mint and clean inside. She's been sat here a little while now, a week or two, and I bet she'll fire up straight away. Just like that, she's on the button. There is one downside though. It was very slow, very slow. So I have tweaked the distributor just a little bit, advanced her up a bit, and now she rips. She'll pull 90 miles an hour easy. So let's take her down the road for a quick rip. I haven't actually got a camera stand for inside the car, so you'll have to bear with me on this. Such a smooth driving car, this. I really would just like to put a bigger engine in it. This thing would be so cool with a big engine in it. It's really quite quiet for its age, and it drives so smooth. There's no knocks, no bangs, steering's nice and tight. You name it, this car is very, very good. I'd actually prefer driving this to my everyday car, which is we're a Jap car, aren't we? The indicator's on the other side. Oh, we hit the window wipers, didn't we? It's a little pocket rocket. She loves these little back roads. We're just in third gear. She's pulling right through. Got to be a bit careful down these little back roads though, because they have got some hidden humps, and they do like to tear your sumps off or your subframes to bits. But she just does, like, we're pulling 50 miles an hour easy, loads of pull, still in third gear. I can't actually really change gear whilst holding this camera, but she's still pulling. Gotta be careful, got a little humpback bridge here, hey, and over we go. Nice little road trip out in the little Corolla. I tell you what, this car is an absolute little gem. And it's basically pretty much a one-owner car. The chap before me only potted around in it for the odd summer every now and then. He never really used it as such. But I tell you, it drives spot on. If you drive it steady and put the timing back so it's not advanced up, it barely drinks any fuel. Obviously with it advanced, it does drink a fair amount more, but really it is a little gem of a car. Just need to get the doors addressed and it'll be near enough perfect. It could do with a respray, not gonna lie. It does still look pink in places. Now it's weathered. I would say that at the time of actually doing this car, it's faded a little bit. But it does, these old red cars, single stage paint, they always do. So if you did like this little video on the Corolla, don't forget to smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of this sort of stuff. Leave us a comment on what you think of everything. I'm Josh at Beatty's Garage, and we hope to catch you again soon.